So thank you everyone for joining us. Today we're going to talk about Kristine's health journey, and her results have been fantastic and they've happened in a really short amount of time, which has been due to how quickly she's implemented the techniques and how much she's embraced what we've been going through from a coaching point of view. So Kristine, let me ask you, so what was your main health challenge before you started, and how did that affect your life?
So when we first started, I was interested in finding out what was going on in my gut area.
Yep.
I had seen a lot of different doctors in the past. I've done the blood tests, the stool tests, I've done all the tests, and everything came out inconclusive. And so I got to this point where I was really frustrated. I would go to eat, I couldn't figure out what of those foods was it even about food?
Yeah,
was the
sure.
question. So I thought, is it food? Is it something that's going on? So that was the primary reason. And the way that it was impacting with me was that I was generally physically uncomfortable, but then mentally, everything else, I was starting to get really frustrated to see what is wrong here.
Yeah, sure.
What's the next question?
And then you sort of answered, so how does it affect your life, which is what you kind of answered. So how did you find the process of us kind of working together?
It was very thorough. We're still working together, so
yeah, sure.
I feel like we're constantly or consistently peeling off layers, but it's very thorough. So I think one of my biggest frustrations in the past with some of the things that I had done was that it was inconclusive and that was the end of it. Whereas for us, I found that, okay, this was the initial scenario, then we would tweak a couple of things, see how those tweaks would fit into my lifestyle, and then add a couple of things. But what was most interesting to me was at some point I did wonder whether it was just a physical thing or it had something to do with the mind-body connection. And I was always open to that. And that was the part that really unfolded. Once we started exploring something that I had heard of but didn't know anything about, which was sacred geometry, I started to see that it was, in my opinion, very much related to the mind-body situation.
Spot on. Yeah. So we worked on really both things. We worked on lifestyle factors, so nutrition and so forth, and we worked on the mental emotional side. And so when you work on the mental emotional side, first of all, you get a lot of healing done, which can actually, heal what's going on. Secondly, it can change behavior as well. So, you start to implement nutrition easier. It's not as hard, like the discipline muscle is not quite as hard.
Very much so.
So, the third question is, so how's your life different now?
It's transformed, I would say. I think because of the approach that we took. So 1 week on purely health, or physical health, and then the other week with some sacred geometry. I feel as though I have a stronger foundation in terms of the way that I approach, first of all, the health side of things, my physical, like my diet, but also my business, also my relationship.
Sure.
I think because we worked on everything holistically, and now I'm starting to understand the real meaning of holistic, because we were approaching things from a holistic perspective. I feel as though all the points of my life which are important to me have slowly transformed in a very powerful way, and they continue to do so.
Awesome. Yeah, and I learned a lot from Kristine because she just embraced these techniques so much. Some of these techniques, I take time to really embrace them, and I'm always a little bit skeptical, but she embraced it from the get-go and just had amazing results so quickly. So thank you for teaching me that. And for anyone that's watching and that's inspired, whether you use this modality or whether you use other modalities that resonate with you, I'd really encourage you to get to the root cause of what might be underneath your health challenge. So thanks for joining us.